Hi everybody, how's it going? We're back for more programming. Sorry for starting a little late today, but I was out biking and it took a bit longer than I thought. So yeah, today's goal is going to be to try to fix up what we were working on last time, really. So for those who don't know what we're doing, we've got our game. And I'm connected right now, and I can move around and I can shoot. But it's a little on the laggy side because when you move, the message has to go up to the server, and currently we're only displaying what we see every time the server updates, which is every 100 milliseconds. And so, what we would really like to do is, as soon as I press a button, I would like to have it draw on my screen. That'll make the game feel a lot more responsive. And the server is already taking my input and effectively playing it back at roughly the same time that I pressed it. So we'll end up on the same spot no matter what. But we just want to look on my screen like I'm there a little earlier. So that's the goal for today. And I took a bunch of notes on what I was doing last time. So basically I'm trying to effectively run the simulation locally. That way, things are showing up for the player immediately. Because there's kind of two things we need to happen immediately. One is movement, obviously, and the other one is when you shoot bullets. We want to draw that bullet on screen before we get back from the server. So you'll notice if I shoot, let me move back a little. So if I shoot, you notice the bullet doesn't really appear until here, and that's because, when I send that message to the service, and the service is going to play that message back in the past a little bit, and so by the next time I get to the next service update, the bullet's already made progress and how far it's gone. And so that's another thing we'd like to fix up. And we can do that by shooting the bullets out locally first. Alrighty, so well, let's try not to worry too much about the bullets at the moment. Instead, we will, because the bullets might get a little complicated, but let's just try to get the player's position down first. So, the last time we were here, so this is over in the gameplay scene on the client when we start up a new game. That's when we're going to create the, yes, it is definitely time for some brick-bang coding. Hopefully I can keep myself on track here today and get some stuff done. So, the last time we started putting the simulation state in the client side, and I think we still probably want to go that route, because the simulation class that I've kind of made is kind of responsible for running the previous states from the service, and I think that's probably a little too complicated for what we want client side. Yeah, I think that's just too complicated for what we want to do client side. So instead, we'll probably just keep one simulation state around, and that'll be what we do to track the client side movement and potentially the client side bullets as well. But we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, movement first. You gotta do one thing at a time, right? Alright, so we've gone ahead and created the simulation state, and it should match up with the service pretty well. I wonder what was... So we've got the callback, and then what was the number there? Well, that's the elapsed time. Yeah, so we started at elapsed time 0, of course. Alright, so... And that'll create everybody in the same spot as the starting position on the service. So that should be good. I don't think there's anything else we need to worry about here. I mean, all this constructor stuff is good stuff we want. And then, but we're gonna have to change how we do run state. Oh, let me delete this. I don't need this stuff. That was the debug logging. Alright, so currently this run state function, which is called by the simulation, you'll see that it basically runs the server update number of updates. So we're going to want to change that for the client side, because the client side is only going to want to run a few updates at a time. So what we'll do, but we can still make use of the input thing. That'll still work out, I think, pretty well. So what we might want to do is we can change this run state function to pass in how much we want to run, I think. I'm just trying to see the start time, make it a little tricky. And we're going to want to kind of keep input around. So I'll have to think about that some more maybe as we go. But I'm debating just passing this value in as a parameter. And then we can pass in smaller numbers from the client side, right? I think that'll probably be a good idea. Because right now simulation calls run state, but it's calling it all the different all the different ones. Yeah, I think that'll probably be good. Alright, let's go. For now we'll go ahead and check back at what do we want to do here. So we created, and basically this local sim state, we're going to want to, when we submit update in handle player input, we're going to, in the same place that we build our input thing, right? And then we pass it off to the server. But at the same time, we also want to update the local simulation state. So I think we're just going to want to send that input right on in. We might have to change it up a little bit. So right, submit input just puts it on the input queue, and the input has the time of the event. So we'll have to make sure the time of our local simulation state makes sense. But that'll be fine. That should be okay. We might have to basically add or subtract this number for the local simulation state. Alright, so then input, well, again, we'll worry about that in a bit. And then the only other parts are when we go to do update, which this is the client-side update loop, which gets called basically at the frame rate, but we kind of only care about it at our target frame rate. So then we handle input, and we update all this stuff. Where do we... Oh, we process the world update. We do that immediately, don't we? Let's see, that updates the world update. Where do we update the positions of the characters? Oh, that's update character positions from simulation. Yeah, that's where we update the character positions, and then we update the bullets as well. So what we'll want to do here is after input, let's go ahead and also, so we know input has been sent to the local simulation. So we'll run the local simulations update as well. And that's going to be this run state, and we're going to want to pass in how many milliseconds we want to run. Yeah, so let's go ahead and change that. So, let's see. What do I want to call it? Could call it like run milliseconds or delta milliseconds or something. Let's go with delta milliseconds. And then in simulation, when we call run state, we're just going to pass in that server milliseconds number. And let's double check that we have constants. Okay, we got constants up there, so that should be fine. And then in sim state, we've got this delta ms, and now we'll just replace that in the two places where it's used. Again, we'll have to, local side, we'll have to double check that our start time stuff makes sense. But that should be good. Alright, so then here we want to pass in, probably pass in just, let's see. Because we don't want to pass in a fractional number, because this really only runs on whole numbers, because it runs at the service step millisecond, which is 2. And we want to have that in sync with the service for sure, so that our input lines up correctly. The only thing is we need let's see, what do we want to pass in here? Let me think about that. I guess if we passed in 16, basically I just don't want I don't want the service to or the client side to get behind somehow if it misses out on a millisecond or something. Potentially we just pass in 16 or 17. Does it get a little weird sometimes, maybe? Huh. I haven't really thought about that. Maybe we just do 16 for now. Though we would kind of want to catch up later. Yeah, I might get myself in trouble here. Because we kind of want to do maybe 16 for a couple frames and then 17 for one or something. As long as we hit 60 every now and then. Right, hold on, let me pull out the calculator. So, oh, calculator shows up for you guys too. So, because it's what, 4? Oh, it doesn't go into 60. Let me think about that. How do we want to do that? So it might not matter too much actually, because we're going to be resetting every time we get a server update. We're going to be resetting this local state based on the server. So perhaps for now, alright, we're just gonna put 16 in here and see what happens. The problem, right, is that after several frames, you might you'll start falling behind, in your simulation. Okay, I guess, let's see. And the way we do our time of our input as well, we're gonna have to, probably gonna have to tweak this a bit. Probably gonna have to tweak this a bit. All right, well let's not worry about that too much for now. So then the last part of what we need to do is when we update the character positions from the simulation, we want to pull the player character from the local simulation state instead of the this interpolation. So what we'll do is we want to do, let's put a comment there, update the local player based on the local sim state rather than interpolation. So we need to figure out which player is the local player first, which I'm sure I've done that somewhere else in here, but I probably didn't call it local player. Let's see. I probably did it around like the around the game over screen, maybe. Yeah. Okay, it's this dot side is what it is. All right, back to where we were. So if you're side 1, that means you're player 1. And if you're side 2, you're the other guy. So if you're side 1, we'll do based on the interpolation. And this just sets the player's X and Y position of their the player graphic. Okay, yeah, what we'll do is let's have local graphic be this type player graphic, and then if side is 2, local graphic will be this one, and then let's see, because that's the one we want to change, and then I'm just trying not to duplicate a ton of code here. We can probably reuse some of it. Yeah, then we can do P1, right? Because it just has the yeah, it just has the sim character object there. Oops, I spelled that wrong. And if you're side 2, it's P2. Yeah, I guess I should just do it this way. So if side is 1, yeah, hello. Hey, Zaza. Thanks for joining me. I'm just programming away, trying to set up the client-side prediction for my player so that input feels smoother. That's the goal for today's stream. Alright, so yeah, if you're player 1, then we'll interpolate player 2. Yeah, this is gonna be the most sensible way to do it. Alright, so Alright, so then we'll basically just update the we'll update local graphic based on local player. I think that's all we have to do. Because it's just a position, right? I think that's all we have to do. That's really all that this interpolate position function's doing. It's setting the X and Y. Oh, but it's also probably don't want to miss out on this stuff. So let's make sure we get that. Alright, and what we could do is we can actually put this outside the loop, or the if statements. That's what we'll do. Oops. Alright, there we go. So if you're side 1, we'll interpolate player 2, and the local player and graphic is player 1. Otherwise, the local graphic and player is player 2, and we interpolate player 1, and we set the local graphic. So that should be good. Alright, so that should make the input movement better. And so now we need to worry about how the input is calculated. So let's think about this. So in handle player input, we're currently passing in the time since the last update, which is how long it's been since you got the last update from the service, plus the previous start time, basically. And so when we send it to the local state, I don't know that that really makes sense. Because for the local state, when we do update, we're only going to be doing like 16 milliseconds at a time. So yeah, that's the guide I'm using to try to do my my client server code. There's a lot of interesting details on that that doc that I linked. Alright, so let's see. So yeah, the tricky part is we want to make sure the input comes in at the right times. Okay, so the other part I left out was when we get an update from the service, we kind of have to reconcile with the service. Yeah, so what I might want to do is I might want to draw what the service is doing right now. Because that might be pretty interesting, actually. Just to make sure we're doing it correctly. So currently we've got player graphic. So let's actually add a new we're gonna add just a new thing. It's gonna be basically just an arc. Because we want to draw. We want to see what where the service thinks we are. Because I want to make sure it lines up and it looks good. That it looks like you're in the right spot, right? So we'll just create this. We'll just create this up here. And we just want to make a circle. Let's see. For now, it'll just be at 0, 0, and it'll be the same size as the let's see. The character graphic is radius 10. We'll just copy that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And then it's gonna be stroked. So we'll set the stroke style. Line width 1. And this is the color, right? Yeah, and let's just have it be red. Okay, so that'll have a graphic for us. And what we want to do is we want to just keep that in sync with so let's yeah, what we'll do, yeah, this is what we'll do. We'll depending on who you are, we'll interpolate like so. Oops, let me yeah, I mean, this is gonna get pretty complicated. Yeah, I I hesitate to actually stream this kind of stuff because I mean, once I've gone far enough along, like basically only I can understand what's going on. So I don't know how interesting it is to watch me go at it, but we'll see. We'll see. It is cool though once I get something working to be able to actually play with people. Alright, so then we'll just alright, so that'll show the debug circle based on what the server, where the server thinks you should be. So that should be good. There's some pretty good emotes. So that'll draw a little debug circle where the server thinks you are. But we still, so the part we're missing here, we're not even doing bullets yet, but we are updating the local player and we're drawing it based on the local sim state, but we haven't really done this part about like reconciling your position with the service. So there's a worry that we're going to get out of sync or something, but that's maybe enough to at least try to run it and see what happens. So let's try to see what happens here. When we connect up, we probably crashed. Let's see. Oh, I do see the little circle there on the side, but yeah, it looks like in begin new game, update character, P1 is undefined, gameplay scene, line 488. So basically right here, P1 is undefined for local sim state. Why is that? So we should have created our local sim state there, and it should have a P1. And it happens from begin new game. Okay, I think I know what's going on then. So, the problem is that this got called from begin new game, and I didn't create the local sim state until after that. So, we should totally do that. Let me just copy this up to here, and then this needs to happen before we do this part. So we'll just put it there for now. And let's move my big to-do up here as well. It lags after quitting. What do you mean it lags after quitting? Like, If you try to play 2 games in a row or something, you're saying? Oh, the name problem. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't looked more into that. I imagine it has something to do with, yeah. I haven't looked any more into that. It has something to do with probably, how I implemented the name stuff. But I just haven't, I haven't tried looking into that anymore. Alright, so, yeah, I wanted to see what happened here. I think I fixed my crash. So let's connect up. Alright, so, we're here. Oh, so now, that's the server position, with my debug thing. But, the player isn't moving at all from the local version. So that's kind of weird, right? We thought the player should be moving. So the local sim state, why isn't it moving the player? Because we are changing local graphics position based on local player. So that part's probably right, but maybe the update isn't working, maybe. So when we run state, so we probably didn't do our input right. I did mention this, right? But I got sidetracked. I didn't get back to fixing it. So let's think about how this works. So local state, probably what we want to do is, yeah, so over in handle input, handle player input, we're going to want to change the time of event before we pass it off to the local sim state. Update the time of event to 0 plus time since update. I think that's what we want to do, because local sim state, right, when it runs, it's going to run the 16 milliseconds and then it'll set its start time to 0 again, and that's what it uses to determine when to play the update back, or the input. So I think that will make sense. I think that'll make sense. The only thing that might be weird is, let's see. I'm still not happy about passing in like a hard-coded number here. Because I'm thinking if you have input that comes in a little later than the 16, but before the next frame starts, yeah, I'm not sure about that part. Yeah, not sure about that part. But I think the 0 plus time since update is probably what we want. Actually, no, that's probably not what we want either. Yeah, I think that'll make sense. No, it's not. Yeah, this isn't really what we want either. Because we kind of want, time since last Local state update. That's what we want. So yeah, I don't know. You're not an idiot. All right, so yeah, so we need to pass in. We need to pass in the time that's since the last update from the local side. So what we'll do is right after this runs, let's record we'll record the local time now. That's what we'll do. Let me go ahead and add this up here. Alright, so then now that we've done that, down in handle player input, we can do now minus that. And that'll be when we want to play the event. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then, what we might want to do. So again, I said I'm worried about there potentially being some input left over if we don't go far enough. So we could make sure we do like an extra. We could do 18 milliseconds, which would ensure. Hold on, let's look at update again. So we're only going to update every 16.66, and we'll run it once. Is it? I'm sorry. What should I say to restore your self-esteem? I mean, you're looking at a programming stream, so I mean, that means you're already pretty awesome, right? Let's see. So what we should do, we could potentially run a little bit more of the simulation locally. I think that would be fine actually, because what we're doing, right? Okay, yeah. The reason this makes sense is because we're running we're really only running the player's local position out of this, and so there's kind of no reason not to just run it more. Like running it more won't do anything, right? Because we're only running the player's local position. Oh, thanks. I mean, don't feel like you have to stay if you don't enjoy the stream. I know programming's not for everybody, so I totally understand. But if you like hanging out, that's cool. I'm always happy to have people hang out. Let's see. Yeah, and if you have something you want to chat about, that's cool too. I can chat and program at the same time. Alright, so I think I'm ready to see what happens again. So let's let's see what's going on here. So now I expect to oh, it's still not moving me. I did expect to move that time. So let's see. I did save everything, right? Yeah, I did save it all. Alright, so let's put a console log in here just to see what we're doing. So that'll be when you're smaller than a quark. That's pretty darn small, isn't it? Isn't a quark like a subatomic particle? That's pretty darn tiny. I mean, that's like smaller than one brain cell. I hope you're okay over there. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna log that, and then in local, and when we do the update, you don't even have one brain cell. Man, that's rough. That is pretty rough. Alright, so we don't want the server to spew out a bunch of stuff, so we're gonna just put this little hack in here that does this, and then we can put in some debug spew for the client. We'll do this. If logging console.log process, or check input input dot time of event, and we'll print this out too. Let's print that out too, just to see. And then here we'll say alright, we'll just put this in as well, just to make sure that we see what's going on there. Not just any quark, because there's different types of quarks, right? A down quark. I'm not familiar. Are there like 4 different kinds or something? I don't know. Definitely not my area of expertise. That's for sure. Alright, so we should see a bunch of debug spew now when we try to move. Oh hey, thanks for the follow, Shuking. Oh, there's 6. Up, down, charm, strange, top, and bottom. I don't know if I believe that. Those are some weird names. I'm getting a bunch of debug spew that I didn't really expect, and also this elapsed time number's pretty crazy too, right? I did not expect to see these numbers. Like, that's such a huge number for a start. Why is that such a big number? Because state starts time. Oh, because state start time doesn't reset to 0, that's why. That's what's wrong. Okay, so now I know what I should be doing. So the time of the event should be, I shouldn't use this actually. I should use the local state dot state start time. I think that's what I should do. You're not lying. Look it up. Up and down have the smallest masses. Interesting. Yeah, Chuking, it's a little bit like Pong. Do you want to try playing? If you want to try playing me, let me, find the right window. Actually, I can just use this window, I think. Hold on. Let me, I got so many windows. Hold on, let me close that one. And So yeah, if you want to try playing, go ahead and log on to my server. Do you want to try playing? If you do, you can pop over to this this address, and I'll take you on. Oh, I see somebody logged in. They haven't set their name though. There's something weird going on with the name setting, so if it behaves a little weird, sorry. Oh, that's you. Alright. Well, we can play a little just to show them how it goes, if you want to start. I should probably set up like an observer mode too or something. Something weird happened. Because it's not, what in the world happened here? I hit some errors. I wonder, oh no, it started. Oh hey, nice. Yeah, so, Pong with weapons. Not quite. The idea is that it's like a bullet hell versus game. So like, you're trying to hit the opponent with your bullets, and take down their health bar. And so there'll be a bunch of different kinds of weapons, and you'll use those different weapons to try to, corral your opponent into a spot where they'll take damage. So that's the idea, the inspiration, if you will. And you have an energy bar that determines, how often you can shoot, different things. I haven't really tried to balance it all yet, but that's the idea. And I think this has a lot of potential. I haven't tweaked, like, right now it's kind of crappy. Like, there's just not enough going on, and I think you move too fast. You probably move a little too fast to, for the game. But, and I added this little thing for mobile, so you can kind of play it on your phone too. But, I want to get the network programming part a little better first, because right now it's a little laggy when you move. So that's what I'm working on today, is to try to eliminate the input lag. It does right now it looks like a little bit of a classic game. I think I want to scheme it, fit it. I want to skin it with like a magical girl theme or something. I think that would be pretty cool. It reset my name. That's kind of weird. I wonder why I reset my name there. Maybe it has to do with the error that I hit. But I'm going to switch back to actually working on it more. The function and not the appearance. Oh, definitely, yeah. It definitely plays a little bit like a side-scrolling shooter type thing. That's what I'm going for. See, that's the game we're working on today. But we're not adding features at the moment, so it's not super exciting. We're just trying to get the input better, to feel better, which is of course super important. Okay, so I think I fixed it up with this this logic. I think this is what we want. And let me try the local build again. Alright, so now if I move, I'm still not moving anywhere. Alright, let's check my... So now I've got a humongous number for check input and a tiny number for start. Okay, so like I put a new input in here, and then that number matches this number, right? So it should have played. Fun fact about Quarks. Let's hear it. It is. I mean, it's date.now from JavaScript, and that's what I want. So the new input happens at a UTT timestamp, And then the problem is over in SimState, this number, elapsed plus start time, is too small. Why is that so small? Oh, I think I was setting start time. Start time should just be incrementing, but I think I messed with it in gameplay scene. The 5th and 6th quirks were originally called Truth and Beauty, but physicists thought it was too cute, so they changed it to top and bottom. That's kind of funny. That reminds me of I don't know if you've ever seen Precure. I'm a big Precure fan, but in Smile Precure, which is great, you should definitely watch it. Very funny. One of the Cure's names is Beauty, Cure Beauty, and this is one of the Precure that they brought. They tried bringing it over to America, but they totally butchered it. And they called it Glitter Force, but they also changed they changed their name because Cure Beauty is I don't know. It has the wrong connotations in America, I suppose. So they changed her to like Cure. What is their name even? It's like cool. What, I forget now. It's something. It's actually pretty reasonable what they changed it to. Breeze, Glitter Breeze. Which, I mean, Breeze is not a super powerful name if you ask me. But what's more offensive is that they changed the main character's name. Because, she's Cure Happy, right? Which is great. But, they changed her to Glitter Lucky. And Happy and Lucky have such different meanings, right? I was really disappointed. Yeah, Glitter Force is the English dub. Now, I will say, the people that did the English dub, they actually did a really good job. Because they actually, I've been watching it, and I will watch, like, the English version, and then I'll watch the Japanese version. Because I already saw the Japanese version a long time ago. But, I'll watch the English one and then the Japanese one and compare. And, the villains, they actually made the villains a lot funnier in the English version. Which is, pretty darn good, actually. Considering the, I mean, I never really watched dubbed anime either, but, it's actually pretty funny. This happens to be one of the ones I do like watching. But the only other dubbed anime I've really watched is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, honestly, I think they probably made Yu-Gi-Oh! Better by dubbing it, because it is also very funny. Very, very funny. Yeah, I mean, voice acting has been kind of like a much more, I don't know, they have a lot more people doing it, right? And so they're really good at it in Japan. Though, I mean, recently, the voice acting industry in the US has gotten pretty good, too. Yeah, the Japanese actors tend to deliver such fantastic performances that, I would have a hard time recommending any of the dubs. But there are some good dubs these days. It's certainly better than it was, 10 or 20 years ago, probably, for those older shows. Not that I've even seen that many of them. Yeah, I mean, that's just with, it depends on who's doing it, right? There are some pretty good English dub actors these days. Like, I saw, I was at an anime con, and they played, like, the dubbed version of, Attack on Titan or something, and I caught like a bit of it, and I was actually pretty impressed with the dub actors for that. I thought they were doing a good job, at least in the episode I saw. I have seen 100, but I don't think I've seen Kaito Joker. You found an anime I haven't seen. But I definitely watched 100 in Japanese. Man, that show, the only thing I remember about 100 was that there was someone who copied, they like blatantly stole, Fate, Emi Yashiro's power, and they have someone they even say Trace On, right? Which I couldn't believe they did that. It seems so blatant. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of shows, so I'd be surprised. I don't know, maybe not too surprised, but I've probably seen most of what other people have seen. Certainly anything popular I've probably seen. Alright, bring it on. Let's see, what was I? Why is start time not? Here, we're gonna change this, oh yeah, okay. Armed Girls Machiavellism. I think I've seen that. Isn't the one, where the girls have a bunch of katanas in a school, and it's like generally only the girls have superpowers, but the one guy gets a superpower. And so he goes to the school and basically embarrasses everybody. I mean, that was pretty funny, right? And it had, I think the voice actor for that guy is the same guy that was in the skateboarding show recently. I don't remember what the superpower... What? Is that not the right show? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's definitely the show. I thought they had some kind of superpowers. Don't they have, like, katanas? And they do a bunch of crazy stuff? I don't really remember. I mean, the katana techniques let them do ridiculous things, though, don't they? I don't know. It's been a while. Can't they, like, shoot out shockwaves and all kinds of stuff? I don't know. I don't really remember too much about it. I just remember the dude came in and embarrassed everybody, which was pretty funny. All right, let's run it again with this debug spew. Okay, so that makes sense. Oh, okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. Death March, yeah, I watched Death March. And Restaurant to Another World. Isn't that getting, season 2? And there's 2 restaurant ones, right? Restaurant to Another World, that's the one with the door that's getting season 2, right? Yeah, that one's pretty nice. I watched the other one, there was, Izakaya in Another World, and that was funny because it had it had the live action segment, right? Afterwards. That was pretty funny. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I never saw the original for that, actually. I had started watching the newer OVA series that was coming out, but I lost track of it at some point, so I've heard great things about it, of course. Though I thought it didn't really age super well. 'Cause like the combat they're doing is kind of stupid almost sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, you've seen the original. I mean, I've heard fantastic things about the original, but that it is like a little on the slow side. Okay, so what we need to do... So the thing is, state start time starts at 0. So we don't exactly want now. Now minus start time is not quite right. Because we want... It's not quite right. How did I... Oh, yeah, I was using a timestamp up here. So I do want a timestamp. Yeah, so we need to do that. And then plus this. That's what we need. Okay, I think that should be right. Oh, Blu-ray discs, nice. I don't even have that many discs these days. It's been a long time since I bought any kind of physical media, I feel like. You know, everybody's moving to digital because it's so convenient, right? Okay, I think we should be good now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and okay, so funny thing here is going on. So, let's restart. So you'll notice we start off in the right spot, and after I move, it is slightly offset. And I wonder why that is. So, I feel like it's missing. Yeah, like I hit down there, but my local guy didn't move at all, which is kind of weird, right? And also, this part's pretty weird too. That it keeps it keeps passing an input even though we didn't actually do anything. So let's find out why that's happening. Is it still doing new input, even though I'm not pressing any buttons? It sure is. I wonder why that is. Because, there shouldn't be any shot. And the movement shouldn't have changed either. That's pretty weird. I wonder why it keeps sending input if the input hasn't changed. Oh, I see. Wait, hold on. Input has changed is true. If only if those things changed. Or if the shot is not. Okay. Have I watched Detective Conan? No, I haven't seen Conan. I feel like it's too long at this point. I would never want to start. It's also kind of annoying that it's kind of annoying that it's rather episodic, right? It doesn't oh, let me close this. It doesn't you know, they're not like moving the story forwards. I'm generally not a huge fan of episodic shows. Sometimes it works though. I'd much rather have progress. What's going on here? Why is it doing that? I guess we should probably just use the debugger. So yeah, let's try to put a breakpoint on that. Let's see. Well, let me hide it before I open some dialogue or something. Alright, so, gameplay scene. Let's go down to handle player input. And, we're gonna put a breakpoint down here, because, we're just very curious why input's changed. Because we don't think it should have been changed. What underrated anime are there? Symphogear. Symphogear is underrated. But I've definitely seen that. Aim angle. But we shouldn't be... Let's see. So it starts at true. And then if the horizontal movement matches... Yeah, you know I've seen that. Horizontal movement and... Oh, shot is 1. So shot is not 9. That's what's wrong. Oh, none is 1 though. Shouldn't it have come in here and said it's false? Alright, let's put a breakpoint here and hit go. So Oh, last input is null. Why is last input null? Am I nulling it out somewhere? I mean, right here I'm setting it to something. That's pretty weird. D Grayman. I feel like I watched some of that, but I think I dropped it. It was kind of weird. Kaleido Star. That's the is that like the circus one or something? I haven't seen that. I think I would probably like it though. But I've at least heard of it. Alright, how is last input getting set to null? That's pretty weird. It's because it's because I set it to null right here. Why is this here? Why did I do that? Is there any reason to do that? I don't think there's any reason to do that. The Mystic Archives of Dantalion. I did watch that. I'm trying to remember what it was about. Was that the one with the gothic looking girl? No. I'm thinking about Gosick. But Dantalion, man, I definitely watched the show. I just don't remember. Oh, I had Sawashiro as the main girl. She's one of my favorite voice actresses. Yeah, I don't remember what this was really about even. I mean, she had some kind of like magical library or something, right? I mean, that's in the title, of course, but... I mean, she was like locked up in a tower and the guy brought her out of the tower. And they travel around and solve problems or something, right? Alright, I'm just gonna delete that. I don't know why that was there. And that should at least make a lot less oh, let's get rid of the breakpoint. That should make for a lot less debug spew. Oh, now we've got Nans. Now we got Nans showing up. That's not good. Nan is never good. How is that happening? New input. Is it Nan? How is that Nan? Oh, Gargantia was really good. I really enjoyed Gargantia. Oh, I've seen all of When They Cry, Higurashi and Umineko. I highly recommend the Umineko visual novel though. I never read the visual novel for Higurashi, but I watched all the Higurashi anime, and man, the Higurashi anime right now is amazing. If you're a Higurashi fan and you haven't seen the latest season, highly recommend. Yoda of the Dawn, yeah, I watched that one. That was the one where the girl picks up like she picks up some like dragon guy. And she's going around, she's like supposed to be important. And she picks up some other dudes, right? And they're trying to like get her back in the kingdom. I can't remember. I've definitely seen a lot, so it is a challenge. Alright, how's a Nan? I don't like Nans. I spent a long time debugging something at work that I had Nans. It was bad. I didn't like it. How are we getting Nans here? So it's not Nan now, right? Yeah, now it's a real number. How was it a Nan the first time? I mean, local update time. Maybe I just didn't initialize it. Yeah, let's initialize it to 0. Oh, Land of the Lustrous. I really like that show. I hope they make more. Some of the best the best usage of CG was in that show. They did a really fantastic job with it. Alright, that should clean up some nans. Alright, nice. So that gets rid of the nans. Oh, but now input's really screwed for some reason. What is going on here now? It's not picking up when I It's not picking up when I let go of a button. But yeah, the studio that did Land of the Lustrous, they also did some other CG shows recently too. And their CG is very impressive. I feel like I should go read the rest of the manga for that, because I doubt they're gonna get another anime. Yeah, Studio Orange. They did oh, they did Beastars, right? That was Infinite Revias. I remember that show. That was really cool. They're basically on the space turned into submarines, right? I mean, space turned into the ocean, and they have the submarine ship. It was really interesting. It's like Lord of the Flies in space. Pretty interesting show. Riddle Akuma's Devil Story. What was that about? What was I definitely saw that. Oh, that's where the girl she's like an assassin sent into some school of crazy people or something. Something like that. How do I know so much? I mean, I've watched a lot of shows, man. That's Cassern. I think I dropped Cassern. Isn't that like it was like a remake of some really old Android robot show or something? I think I dropped it. I didn't enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it got better. But yeah, it wasn't for me. Okay, so we initialized that. So what's going on here? We're not processing all the input correctly or something. Hold on, what's going on here again? Let me try it again. So I feel like I should be seeing. Oh no, we don't have any input in the queue, right? That's why we're not. Oh, it's because. Alright, so if I hit. Well, let's clear the. Alright, then I'm gonna hit left. So. I got my new input there, and I got my new input there. Oh, we're not moving at all anymore. Oh no, we are. Wait, what is going on? What in the world's going on? Oh, it was reboot. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was like a remake or something. I just wasn't a huge fan. I only gave it a couple episodes for some reason. I think there was just too much other shows that season that I was watching. Okay, what is going on with our input here? Let's debug spew out. Oh, so we should have a set input 1 or 2 when we actually process it. All right, hold on. Let's start over. Yokohama. Have I seen that? Gosh, I'm gonna have to look up a picture. Did I watch this show? I don't know if I watched this show or not. She's an android that works at a cafe. The camera? I don't think I saw this. Man, that's pretty old. You're really digging deep here. You're really digging deep. Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of older anime. I mean, I've seen the classics, of course, but I haven't seen tons of old stuff. Okay, so I was gonna still trying to debug here. So, all right, so we're up here. Gonna hit left, let go. Okay, so that got processed pretty correctly, though the circle's not in the right spot. Okay, so that time it didn't work. What happened? So, new input here at 40. So that would have gotten processed here, and it did. And then a new input at 1307, which, oh, it's because, 1307 is outside, because this number plus 16 is going to be what, 1304 or something. So that's why it fell outside the range. It fell outside the range there. Oh, it was like an OVA series, huh? Man, that's so far apart. Like 5 years between episodes, right? Or like four years. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so the problem is that, what's happening to our input? Oh, it's because if it doesn't get processed, we're deleting it out of the input queue. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Okay, I'm not really sure. I mean, our timing is probably not helping it. The way we're doing timing here is kind of messed up. I wonder if I should just, Yeah, I haven't figured out what I need to be doing here to make it more correct. You got another one for me? Bring it on. Gunbuster. Actually, I just recently watched the original Gunbuster with a friend, and yeah, cause I hadn't seen it, but so I actually just very recently watched the original 6 episodes of Gunbuster, but I haven't. We planned to watch the sequel. But we haven't gotten around to it yet. I thought it was I mean it was okay. Like it's got some like pretty random nudity. I didn't really understand why. But and then it really feels rushed. Like it's like they wanted to make like a 12-episode show, but they compressed it down to like 6 episodes. And so it's super rushed. Like, the one guy shows up that she, like, falls in love with, and then he dies, like, it's like the same episode. And then, like, the next episode, she's all sad. And I mean, like, okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, but, like, it's so compressed that we don't really have time to get emotionally attached to anyone. So, yeah, it definitely felt like it could have used more episodes. Alright, so what am I doing here? So we're dropping the input because it's not in the right time period. Let me think about that. Why is it not right? So the new input comes in. It was at 18,307, but the start time for that frame. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a problem in the industry, right? Like, yeah, I mean, the last episode not having color is pretty ridiculous. But, it still managed to be pretty interesting. I just wish they had more time to, you know, explore, like the time dilation effects and that kind of thing. Because those are pretty interesting ideas. I mean, like the Interstellar, right? They explored a lot of those time dilation aspects, which was pretty cool. But then like the end is all nonsense. All right. What do I need to be doing now? Let's see. So the update time, like I'm kind of surprised that that the input wasn't handled within the time that we had. Oh, Yamada-kun, I really liked the manga for that, and I was current on it for a while, and then I stopped for some reason, and then I did watch the anime, which was, I agree, very rushed. I should go ahead and finish that manga sometime. Angel Beats, was there a source material for that, or was it original? I don't remember. I mean, it was pretty awesome. I really liked it. Was it based on anything? Doesn't look like it, based on Wikipedia. But I mean, yeah, the story was a little rushed. I didn't think it was too bad, though. Alright, so... yeah, just the way I'm doing my timekeeping is pretty messed up. That's the problem here. Yeah, this is always one of the hardest problems to figure out how to do things right in making a game. Let's see. So I'm currently limiting it. I see, but maybe if it misses this by some amount, it won't come around again until maybe like 6 or more milliseconds have passed. And by then, the input could have been earlier. I don't really see how that can happen. Like, aren't we running the state right after we do the input? In fact, yeah, how is this even a problem? How is this even a problem? Because, we should just run it immediately. Yeah, we should just run your input immediately, and we should run the state. Okay, so thinking about that a little more. Which, for the local state, like, we just kind of want to run it immediately. So, like, screw this time stuff. We don't need to do this. Just do it at the start time. Yeah, this is where I'm getting in trouble. And we're doing, like, we're running, we want to run the input right away. There's no reason we would want to not run it right away. So let's just delete. I got too sidetracked in this stupid thing. But yeah, we don't need that at all. Have I watched the with the worst rated anime? I've seen some really bad shows. I saw one recently. What was it? It was like a zombie show, but with bugs and samurai warriors. Oh man, it was so bad. What was it called? Jibiate? Yeah, Jibiate. Have you seen that? It was oh man, it has a 3.82 on Mal. Yeah, it was a 2020 anime, July to September. It was actually so bad that it was actually kind of funny. But it was bad. It was objectively bad. Yeah, Chibiate. Yeah. It was so bad. It was so bad. There are actually shows that are worse than that, though. Like that show, at least, you know, it was at least somewhat entertaining. I mean, it was extremely poorly animated, right? But it was at least somewhat entertaining. But there's other shows that are actually just like bad. I don't know. I feel like there was another one I watched recently. Oh, I watched a little bit of X-Arm, but that was too bad. I couldn't watch that. It was trash. Okay, so now that I've kind of simplified things and I'm not doing this unnecessary delaying of the input, I think that'll work out a lot better for me. And do I still want to run 18? Or do I just want to run 16? Alright, let's try it with just running 18 and see what happens. Have I seen Lady Spo? No, I don't think I've seen that. Lady Spo. Yeah, I definitely haven't watched this. I tried watching, it was a slideshow. That's a shame. I wanted to watch, there was one anime that got panned pretty recently for being a slideshow. It was like the Yakuza house husband guy. And I kind of want to watch that. I never got around to it though. But the manga is supposed to be really good. Yeah, zero effort. That's a shame. That's always a shame. Okay, so now input is kind of working again because we're not being stupid. But you'll notice that I'm getting a little further ahead from my. I move faster than the server can see. So this is not ideal. Because that means the server is not agreeing with where I am. So we want this to match. What happens if I change it to 16? Okay, that's actually much closer. But it's still off a little bit. But it's much closer. Yeah, I move faster than the server. So that is a lot closer to what we want. You'll notice how the server kind of jumps ahead but then flips back. But we're still getting ahead of it. But yeah, so this will make it feel a lot smoother, but we need it to match up better than this. Why is it off? let's see. Why is it off? Okay, I think it's off because, so the player input, it's going to be running, you're guaranteed to get it on the 16 every time, right? That's what's happening. Whereas on the server side, we're doing that time calculation, right? So that's why it's different. That's definitely why it's different. So I think what we need to do is we need to lock the service down to, or when we send our input up to the service, we need to basically send it as if it was playing at the exact same time as we're trying to play locally. And that should make it sync up better. So how do I want to do that? How do I want to do that? Because yeah, right now the time is I'm doing it like the offset from the last update, plus, you know, the amount of time, or like that's the start time. So I almost wonder if I don't want to do that. I wonder if I want to round this to the nearest 16 milliseconds or something. Something like that. Might make sense. So there's also a little bit of weirdness with yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness with how often we update. Because, I don't know why. Why couldn't people make refresh rates that that rounded neatly? That would have made things a little better. But yeah, if we really want to make it easy to match up client side, we should probably round it at least to the nearest 16 milliseconds or so. Because that's effectively what we're doing here in update, right? Because the way we're doing the local sim state is we're putting that input in, and we're just going to do that first thing in this frame, but then we're running 16 milliseconds worth. Probably what we should do is run 16, 16, then 17 or something to make the rounding work correctly. Or like 17, 17, 16. But I don't know how much that matters. Alright, let's try and handle player input. Like, I'm curious what the time since update numbers. So the time since update numbers should basically be between like 0 and close to like 100-ish or so. But let's try rounding it to the nearest 16. Do we want to do that after we add this time? Potentially. Let's see. Let's do this. And then, we can do math.round. That rounds it to the nearest integer. How do we round it to... That's not what we want. we'll want to do like, let's see. We'll want to do like divide by 16 or something. Let me think about that. So if we do like the pre-round time modulus 16, that will give us the leftover. And then we could just like subtract or add to the leftover. I mean to the time based on the how much is left over. So like if it's greater than or equal to 8, we can just say hold on. So the event time is going to be the pre-round time, but then we're going to do, if it's greater than 8, we'll add 16 minus leftover. Otherwise, we'll subtract the leftover. Sorry, it should be the event time. I don't know if this really makes sense. But that'll at least round us to like the nearest 16. And let's, just because I want to know what in the world I'm doing. So the pre-round time. And then the send time. Alright, we'll log that out just to see what it is. And actually, let's just do that. We don't want to spew out tons and tons of stuff, so let's just put it down here. Those variables will still be good. Still be good down here. And yeah, let's see what that does. I'm not convinced that that will be good. I mean, is that closer or better? It's still off for sure. Oh, I have a breakpoint here. Get rid of that. So, oh, I guess I'm a little confused. Oh, no. Let's see. So my new input was at this time. Well, let's clear the log. Okay, so like we would have set it at this time, but we subtracted 4 there. And this log line is actually from the that's actually from the local sim stuff. That's this line. And those times aren't even any remotely close to each other. Which potentially that's part of the reason why it's kind of off. I mean, what we could do is we could like reconcile the server and the client by having the client fix itself up based on what the server said, but that might end up with you jumping around a bit, right? Oh, I wonder. Let's see. Oh, let me look at this again. So there is one thing we haven't done yet, which is there was the thing, the to-do in my to-do. In the big to-do, we want to, the server hasn't necessarily processed all the input yet. Oh, but we're not even reconciling. Yeah, we're not even reconciling the player's position, so that shouldn't matter. It's like so close, but it's still off. So close, but it's not quite right. I wonder... Oh, that got really off. How did I do that? We must have dropped some input to the service or something. Huh. Yeah, it looks like it can get pretty off somehow. Hey, Kartaro. How's it going? I'm trying to debug my crappy networking code here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to potentially put in some more logging to try to figure out what's going on here. We're just we're not staying in sync with what the server's seeing. And so, could be better. Well, I hope you have a better day today. Let's see. I wonder what we should do. Oh no, your debit card got skimmed. That's really terrible. I hope you're able to... Yeah, it's really bad that it's a debit card and not a credit card. Okay, I mean, it's like, hopefully the bank covers it. Yeah, I try never to use debit cards anywhere because it's a lot easier to just have the credit card company cancel stuff than to have your bank try to get your money back, right? It's a little bit harder. But yeah, that really sucks. Yeah, so yeah, everyone that can just try to. I mean, you can't always use it, right? But definitely recommend credit cards. Make sure to pay off your payments, though. Just pay it off every month, and then you don't have any problems. If you don't pay it off, though, oh man, bad times. Bad times. I'm doing pretty good. I went out biking this morning. That was pretty nice, but schedule got a little delayed, so started my stream a little late, but it wasn't a problem. But yeah, programming here. Programming's going okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my movement logic. But I think this is an opportunity to make it make more sense. So let's see. The question is, I guess, do we need to try to fix up the... Like, which one is wrong? I guess that's the real question. Like... Am I running too much? So the client... Oh, so that was interesting. So I let go of down. Like this is where I think I should be for sure. So, but the service must not have picked up the down message. Oh, you just started data structures. Cool. There's lots of good stuff to learn there. Thick accent. That's a shame. You know, but you'll I mean, textbooks and stuff for that kind of stuff are actually somewhat decent. And with programming, really, like I had some teachers in college that honestly they weren't very good. But with programming, right, there's so many other resources that you can really take advantage of. So as long as you, study all the other stuff, it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, not being able to understand, no offense to anyone out there that has accents, but I'm really terrible at hearing what people say if they have an accent. And, after you ask them to repeat it like twice, it starts getting really awkward. And I mean, it's not like bad. I'm not trying to say anything's wrong, but, I just can't understand it sometimes. And I'm like, sorry. Yeah, I guess with people doing, so many more phone meetings lately, you just can't understand. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, especially if they're big classrooms. I mean, you might want to try setting up close to the front. I mean, I know people don't like to do that, but that might help a little, right? Being close. I mean, I know it's not the cool kid thing to do, but but you're not in college to be the cool kid. At least you shouldn't be. But yeah, there's always that. What you should do too is you can always go if you didn't understand something, you could always go ask them after class or go to the office hours, that kind of thing, right? But I mean, if you can figure it out on your own too, that's always good. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So we're dropping input from the service somehow, which is not great. Like, I kind of feel like the movement, like the client side movement's good. We just need to get the server side movement to match up to it. I think that's the mindset I should take. And for the most part, it does a pretty good job. But but it's just a little bit off. And that's probably because of how we're doing the time tracking. But we tried to address that by doing this. Well, we tried to address that by doing this nonsense. But I don't know if that was the right thing to do. Did that even change it? Like, if we don't even do this, is it any different? Yeah, I feel like it's not any different. So that's probably not the problem, really. So maybe that's that might be what was causing us to drop some frames on the server, potentially, if we that subtraction we did might have been pretty weird. But yeah, we really need the server to agree with where we end up. And not having it not match up is not good. And like the client, I want the client to be this responsive. But the final, like when I stop moving, the server really needs to put me in the right spot. And part of the problem is we're only passing up the input, right? And not our current position. But we shouldn't have to pass our position up. Because the server should be the source of truth, right? But yeah, we're just not... We're not quite in line. Well, I think it definitely is behaving better than when I had that leftover logic in there. So we're definitely not going to put that back in. I'm just trying to decide, is it just that I get to move a little bit further on the client side? Yeah, it's like I move a little bit faster, right? If I go back to the center, and now it's off put still. Huh. I don't know what to think about that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it does seem like I just get a little bit further ahead than my server position. Let me just double check. That is the server position, right? Okay, so this was a terrible idea. Let's just delete all that. We'll leave that part at least for now. What should I do? Let me just check when we're updating the character positions. The interpolated one is the debug circle. Yeah, okay. So that makes sense. Let's see. So potentially the problem is only that the time we sent to the server, let's just go ahead and do that again. The time we send to the server, it's like we're telling the server that we stopped a little too early, maybe? Because as soon as I start moving, hold on, let me think about this. So as soon as I start moving left, let's go up actually. So I start moving up, and it falls behind pretty quick. It falls behind. Why does it fall behind? What does that mean? Because you would think, and it gets further and further behind too. So that's the other thing I noticed. It gets further behind the more I go. And the reason for that is probably, let's go check out the update loop. So the outer ring is the server position. So, because I'm trying to handle input lag, right? So as soon as you press the up button, the player character moves immediately. But for the server, we send the input to the server, and then the server processes it, and the server sends updates to the client every 100 milliseconds. And so that's what the red ring is. And it's actually the interpolation of 2 update frames is what it is. So it's interpolating between, the previous update we got from the server and the latest update we got from the server. And so what I'm trying to do right now is I want to make sure that when you stop moving, that the server agrees that you're in the same position as the client logic. Because you want to be in the same position, obviously. But with how I have it set up, it looks like you're currently able to move quite a bit faster than the service. And I want to say this is the problem right here. Because I'm passing in 16. So theoretically, you're able to move. You're able to move. Now let me think about that. So our target frame time is 60 FPS. But this update loop is probably called. I mean, right now on my machine, I'm running at like 100 plus FPS. So like for example, if I just put in a like a frame time here, delta should be pretty darn low. So did that not did I do something bad? Why is it not what's the problem? Gameplay scene. So, oh, this is bad. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so if I just look at my frame time, see, my frame time is like six and some change, because I'm running it like super fast on my machine. So but so we want to limit it to the 60 FPS, which makes sense. But I wonder if we want to limit it to like, what happens if we change this to just 16 instead of a fractional number? I don't know if that's really going to make a difference. Interestingly, it seems like we get even further ahead, which is pretty interesting. So, so the server is going to run at 100 millisecond updates no matter what, right? But client side, we obviously 100 is way too long. So we need to update more often than that. But so client side, your frame rate does matter. Yeah, sorry my voice isn't super cute and sexy, but unfortunately this is just how I sound, so you'll have to deal with it. So let's see. Yeah, so the frame time, I wonder. Yeah, that's right. So, see you later. Or not. Interesting. So yeah, having a lower number here did make it seem a little worse even. Yeah, so a lower number there, and we get further away. If we have, what if we have 17? So like 17's a bit closer. Interesting. But I don't, that's not right. That's not what we should be doing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we want to do here. Because, yeah, I don't know. Let's set it back for now. So, I see. So every time we run this, we're going to update this amount of time. And the way it works is that we act like you've had that button down for that long. Yeah, I don't really understand what the point of a comment like that is, right? Like, like what's the point? Anyways. Let's see. So I'll have to think about this more. So we run into 2 millisecond increments, and your input starts when but yeah, the part I don't get is why it gets further behind. That's the part I don't get. Because it gets further and further behind. And that would suggest that the client is doing more updates than the server potentially, right? But it seems like we would be doing less updates because we're not updating as often. That's the part I don't understand. Because I can take, let me take this login out. So I wonder, yeah, because the service, like I would think the service would potentially start behind you, but then it should catch up and it should stay the same speed. So I wonder why that's different. Because your input wouldn't even be changing, right? That's the part I'm not sure about. What does execute input do again? So if you have input, it does the movement based on the delta, and the delta is the time step of 2. What I might have to do is log how many updates have occurred between when you press the button and when you let go. Well, the VODs are just me recording live, so I can't help you there. I don't know why it would be any different. Yeah, what I might have to do is I might have to I might have to do that login. Because I'm not sure what we want to do. I don't know how much more I want to do today. I've been going at it for a while already. So maybe we'll go ahead and end this stream pretty soon. Because I might have to think about this problem a lot more. And I might try to just finish it offline. Because I don't want to have a third stream about this. I'd rather get to more of the fun stuff, like, you know, actually designing the game, the gameplay, making the game a little more fun. I think that would be good. But, the problem is that, basically I'm trying to implement, client-side prediction. And so the outer circle is the server, and the inner circle is the actual client side. And the problem is that when you move, like let's start at the top. As you move, you'll notice the server's version gets a little further behind. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. I mean, it has to do with how often we're updating the simulation. So potentially the server is running less simulation updates than the client over the same amount of time. Potentially that's what's going on. Because, okay, I think that makes sense actually. Because the server... So the server has an interval set to run updates every 100 milliseconds, and it runs those updates at that time. But yeah, I understand the problem. I just don't know. Let's see, so the server, we call set interval, and we're updating every 100 milliseconds. We run this timer, which, the timer passes all the input to the simulation, and then does run, and simulation run, updates each state with the 100 milliseconds worth of time. But I almost wonder I'm actually curious what happens if we do this. Oh, you couldn't see what I changed, but I changed it less than or to a less than or equal to. Oh, the service gets really far behind now, and that's probably because client side we're probably updating a little bit more often. But what I was thinking, Yeah, I do, because if you go play on the server that I have set up for people to play on, your latency is probably going to be around 100, and it's actually pretty laggy. It's pretty darn laggy for when you move. So I want to have the client move locally, and the server just kind of matches you up later. I mean, I agree with your assessment that I'm probably over-engineering, but I do want to do it the right way. But yeah, I wonder if it might have to do with so the client's going to be probably running more time. I think I understand. Yeah, okay, what we need to do... Yeah, I don't know. I have some ideas, but I think I might give up for today and just try about that later. But yeah, I have some ideas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make some notes on my to-do list. Figure out why server seems to be running less often than client. And I'll need to fix this up. Potentially the solution will be to make the client not run those extra frames or something. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly. But yeah, I think we'll just call it a day there for now. Alright, and maybe I'll get on to play some Guilty Gear later. That should be fun. Or some Runeterra. I'm not sure. But I do want to try out Jacko and Guilty Gear. That should be fun. I am accounting for that, and that's why it's so close to correct. Am I going to stream those games? Which games? Guilty Gear? Or Runeterra? I mean, I do stream those games. But, are you asking which one I want to stream tonight? Yeah, I'm not sure which one I want to stream tonight. I might do Guilty Gear, but I'll probably just play RAM. I can give Jacko a go, but I haven't looked up any combos for Jacko. So I might do that while I'm taking a break, and then hop on and give Jacko a go. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, well that's it for the stream. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get done what we wanted to, but I'll figure it out later. Oh no, it's not on GitHub right now. I mean, it is on GitHub, but it's a private project. I should probably make it public though. There's kind of no reason not to. Thanks for offering to take a look though. I do appreciate it. Maybe by the next programming stream I'll try to have my code up on GitHub in case anyone wants to take a look. But it is a bit of a mess though. Fair warning. Alright. Well, that's it for now. I'm gonna hop on. I don't know how long I'm gonna take a break. Maybe like 30 minutes or so. We'll see. But yeah, I'll hop on later. Thanks guys. See you later.